Hi, and welcome to Survey Rock. Will be a description of the freemium service of Survey Rock. You can build multiple choice, text, numbers, matrix, and rating scales, as well as decide if your questions are mandatory or optional. One of the ways I used this recently was to allow my students to respond to my need to know their schedules in terms of what hours of the day, Monday through Friday, they would be available for field experiences. So before I complete this, I'd like to take a look at that one with you. And here we are at the home page, surveyrock.com. I have completed my email address, put in my password, logging into my account. You can see that I do have one particular survey that I've worked with, and this is the one that I was mentioning to you. This particular survey, as you can see, what it does is it allows me to collect days of the week, Monday through Friday, and the hours that they are available. They do have the opportunity to multiple check or put over here that there's none available on Tuesday or whatever, so that there's a number of ways that they can respond to this for me. Now we're back at our survey overview page where we found my initial survey. Let's go ahead and learn about creating a survey, which is very straightforward. We would want to click the Create Survey button. We would want to name it, probably make this more descriptive of what you want it to actually be, because eventually you may have more than one or two surveys up here. Finally, there is an optional box here for the survey description. Once you're ready, click Create. And that is it. Now, what you're seeing here is you are seeing the tutorial that says, hey, do you want to go through all these different buttons, what they are? I'm going to let you do that when it's time for you to do that. All right, so let's move forward. From this part or this page at this point, there's a number of things that you can do to edit this. For example, right now this is called page 1. If I want to edit this, all I have to do is just change this to demo workshop. Might help if I spelled that correctly. There we go. And then we would update. Some of the other things that might be interesting for you to see would be if you click on the settings tab. These are the kinds of things you can do. First of all, you can change that mandatory survey title. Here is again the place where you can put in the survey description if you change your mind for later. Theme Manager is a freemium option that you can choose different colors and so on. You can see that some of them are allowed, but if you attempt to put in one of these, basically it won't allow you to do it because it's upgrade to a premium account before you can add themes. But let's go back and look at some of the other things here. Do you want to show the survey title? How about numbers? Do you want to allow a previous button allowing your students or your respondents to go back? The next button, show the progress bar. Save an IP address, and then you can see over here on the right hand side that there are additional things. And then finally, when you're ready, you can click to save your settings for your Survey Rock survey. There is a way to easily do other things as well. For instance, here's the beginning of our survey. We don't see any questions. To get a question, you would click on the plus and then click Add Your Question, and then you choose the type of question. Do notice that they've given you a brief explanation, such as a multiple choice. What is your gender, male or female? How about a number box? How old are you? How about a matrix table? This is the kind of thing that I had used for mine, or a rating scale. So there is a number of ways that you can do this. So to add a question, we'll choose it, and we'll say next step. And the question is required. The mandatory box is checked. The answer size box in characters. You are limited, okay, in terms of that size, but typically you would know what the size would be, and so the question is, what do All right, and that is a mandatory question. Your answer can be no more than 200, and we will click Save to include that question. What do you think of Survey Rock so far? You can also change font size and that type of thing by making sure that as you click your Add Element button here, right here, that you want to click Add Text. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, and we will. Let's make this italicized. Let's move it to the right. Let's add a bullet. Let's link it to something. So there's a number of things that you can do as far as using it as a text editor as well. To add a question, well, we kind of were just there. You would click the plus, add a question. It'll ask you to choose the type, fill in the type of question, fill in your question, and go forward from there. Let's see. If you wanted to add a line element, what would that be? Well, we would, again, click on the plus, add a line. Okay, what that's going to do is it's now going to maybe separate your survey, or it's going to allow you to have just a line input, into your survey box. So you can adjust the height, and you can adjust the width in terms of percentage, number of pixels, the margin that you want between that question and your line, and the color of your line. And then save. And now we do have that line separating this question from the next question. I wanted to add an additional question for you because sometimes what happens is we get into a survey when we recognize that we want to reorder our questions. That's an easy fix on SurveyRock. We are already in the edit menu. I will click on the page button and simply click on sort page elements. What you'll see right here is that I can also sort pages, by the way, if I had multiple pages, but I'm on page elements. Here they are. What do you think of SurveyRock so far? We have a line, and then we have how many options should we allow. To move this one, I simply drag and drop and save and close. And as I return to my page, my SurveyRock survey page, you can see that my two questions are now followed by the line. So the next question is, how do I go ahead and distribute the survey? Well, notice that this demo survey is still inactive, no completed responses. By the way, this is where I can delete it if I so choose to do, is from this My Surveys page. But let's go ahead and prepare this one to go out, have people respond to it. So we'll do that by clicking on the inactive. We'll say yes to distribute the survey by clicking on add a web link. And let's just take a look at some of the information keys on this page. So the name, since you can have multiple names on a web link distributor, give it a name so that you know what it is that you're receiving information on. The enable or the disable status. This is where you'll set a start and end date for your survey. And then closed message. If the message has been closed prior to someone arriving at it, this is the message that they'll see, the quota. How many people can take your survey? If you leave it blank, it's unlimited. But notice that with the basic account, you are limited to 125 responses per survey. Not something that I'll worry about. And then finally, if I had set this, say, for 15, and number 16 person tried to respond to it, this is my quota full. So my quota full message is the message that they will receive is if as number 16 on a limited quota of 15 persons, this is the message that they will receive. So I would think that I'm almost ready to send this out. However, notice that we do have an asterisk up here for a required field. So we'll call this the demo. And I don't see any other asterisks on this page. We'll save. Now it's available and it's active. And here is the link that I can provide to my participants. And if I do that, so I've opened another browser and I will go ahead and paste in that link. And here is the survey that I've created and that they should respond to. And submit. And returning to my SurveyRock Online Surveys page, we can see that this is the page that has the survey. By the way, I could have previewed this if I had chosen to, but let's take a quick look at the reporting options. What it tells me is that it has been started. One person has completed it. Completion ratio is 100% and so on. You can look at this. One participant started the survey. If I want to, I may print this or download it, but I can also click on the overview page, the arrow to the right, and basically what I can see is this is a question allows free text answers. What do you think? When I click on this, it says it is great. The response was it is great. And how many options should we allow for? And these were the responses. I allowed anywhere between 0 and the number 25 as the choices. So this is pretty much an overview of SurveyRock. I hope that you find that it's useful for your classroom, and thanks for listening.